Episode 8 Don Lemon vs. Larry Elder. This episode is dedicated to Brian Jeffrey Davenport, Nathan Knecht, Heather Holmes Johnson, Joshua Wade Roby, and Brian Sturdivant. Back in 2020 United States presidential election times, Joe Biden and Donald Trump faced each other in debates despite the COVID-19 national and state policies induced chaos, or excitement if you're of the Dirty Harry vein. One debate, the September 29th one, turned into a three-way interruption fest thanks to Chris Wallace, with remarkable rejoinders such as, "Will you shut up, man?" This three-way tri-bait fest prompted a bunch of rule and change proposals not universally accepted by all participants. This one specific debate prompted a variety of emotionally charged opinions, amplified by commentators such as Ben Shapiro and Rachel Maddow, posted all over social media, forever captured in digital memory. A general overview of such opinions focus on behavior, not so much on the debate contents. This prompts a tough question. When did presidential debates stop being so informative and started becoming a source of entertainment/excitement? A debate is essentially an opportunity for multiple entities to state, dismantle, and defend ideas. The presidential debate format is where the moderator asks a question to one participant, the participant responds, the other participant responds with either a comment or something non sequitur. Hail to Joshua from the House of Non Sequitur! And the first participant tries to either agree or refute the counterpoints, if relevant. This assumes everyone follows established protocols and norms. Each candidate is given a short amount of time to respond to questions, ranging from simple to complex, which means a candidate won't be able to address complex topics with the right amount of context required to justify initial responses, which means there were many sound bites that could easily be taken out of context by commentators, since there's little time opportunity to provide context. The debate format, due to short time nature per question, gives pundits more than enough material to twist statements into something else due to lack of context. This yields another question. Aside from derivative entertainment, what would convince viewers to watch the debates? That's obviously a subjective question for researchers in psychology, sociology, and other related disciplines. Another way to rephrase this question is, what would convince viewers to give up another time-intensive activity such to watch these debates? In the United States, the NFL's Monday Night Football makes a 60-minute gridiron football with merchandising, yellow flags, and any other tomfoolery needed to extend this one-hour sport into 2+ hours. Yet each episode, per Statista.com, attracts 11.8 million viewers, at far below the presidential debate 60 million plus metrics, per NBCNews.com. However, the annual Super Bowl yields viewership metrics that far exceed this 11.8 million viewers. Refer to episode 7, by the way, if you want to get the actual number. Gridiron versus Association Football. So what would convince a Monday Night Football/Super Bowl viewer to sacrifice an excuse to drink cheap beer and steal potato chips? Okay, I'm guilty of substituting personal experience for decisive metrics here, for 3 times every 4 years. I know it isn't much, but for Green Bay cheeseheads, this would be a sacrilege. Look, politicians often are boring to listen to when they make their best cases. Just watch C-SPAN. The ones who make outrageous statements out of context, whether you agree with them or not, get the news headlines without being required to provide context. Think Trump and AOC. But the ones who actually spend time to build their case based on unscripted questions give viewers something to chew on. Joe Rogan, famous for his time in MMA, stand-up comedy, and Fear Factor, is also famous for helping to lower Tesla Motors stock prices when he convinced Elon Musk to smoke a doobie on the Joe Rogan Experience show. He has dialogue with a diverse set of people ranging from Milo Yiannopoulos to Bernie Sanders. Speaking of Bernie Sanders, as well as Dan Crenshaw, Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang, and Jesse the Mind Ventura, Joe's time with these people averaged more than an hour, with viewership ranging from 5.8 to 14 million per YouTube.com. All these politicians not only answered Joe's questions, but took the time to provide context for all their answers to, whether you agree with them or not. Based on Joe's viewership metrics, Joe may be onto something when it comes to convincing viewers to go beyond the sound bites and dig into the substance of the person being interviewed. In the end, his video's metrics show more people are interested in interviews rather than current presidential debates. It is possible to have effective debates such as Cenk Uygur versus Ben Shapiro during Politico's 2017, but when participants aren't given adequate opportunity and time to justify their ideas, a debate might as well be forever reclassified as a tri-bait and have that new term be incorporated into the Oxford Learner's English Dictionary. Assuming presidential candidates actually want to get their views and context out in the open for public scrutiny, and that's a great assumption for the political studies type out there, how can they do it? The 2020 debates clearly don't compete with Super Bowl. If Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard successfully, depending on the audience's point of view, conveyed their ideas and reasoning to Joe's larger audience, what if all presidential candidates did the same on the Joe Rogan Experience? If the goal is to increase viewer metrics, there is a chance Joe Rogan Experience may not achieve it. However, for the sake of excessive excitement, one surefire way to increase metrics is to add spice into the stew by having interviewers of opposing political views interview prospective presidential candidates. That's right. Change the dialogue forum into a feisty tone. Consider Don Lemon, a political commentator famous for harassing fellow CNN commentator Chris Cuomo for giving Kellyanne Conway airtime, which is in one sense a sign of attempted cancel culture. This commentator often uses emotions and feelings as basis for arguments, even with fellow CNN employees. Also consider Larry Elder, aka the Sage of South Central, as well as a challenger to Gavin Newsom's reign, who combines fast talking with libertarian arguments for virtually anything that comes to his mind. He's also famous for challenging some California liberal politicians to answer culturally hard questions such as Maxine Waters, to which he has yet to receive a reply. Will his campaign deal bumper stickers such as insert claim here, where's the outrage? Mr. Elder, if you're listening, have fun stealing the Gavin Newsom's happiness as well as crushing his presidential hopes and dreams. Looking back at the 2020 presidential debates, if that format was replaced with 2-hour-plus interviews, the results could be unexpected. Don Lemon interviewing Donald Trump. With these two people who are both showmen, look up Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon involving the haircut during WrestleMania 23. Will they ever let anything go? Larry Elder interviewing Joe Biden. Would Joe Biden's interview last as long as the Joe Rogan / Bernie Sanders episode number 1330? Such a process may attract polarizing figures to have these interviews for the sake of increased viewership, effectively eliminating moderate candidates from gaining media traction. But people such as Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger were examples that countered this assumption, since both gubernatorial candidates and eventual governors hardly were political extremists. They just generated humorous bumper stickers such as, "My governor is here to pump you up," and "My governor looks great in a feather boa." So, if the voting citizen wants to entice prospective presidential candidates to reveal their true colors, it's in the voting citizen's best interest to stop watching the debates and increase viewership numbers of either Joe Rogan Experience or other lengthy interviews. CNN/Salem News, please consider having Don Lemon and Larry Elder do these lengthy interviews with candidates they are politically opposed to. At least it's one way to figure out which candidate has a constitution necessary to withstand such feisty interviews. Okay, onward to the Kevin Bacon game. Joe Rogan, by 1 degree separation, could be the key to manipulating stock prices of companies whose CEO is being interviewed on the Joe Rogan Experience. To financial investors out there, get going by getting to know Joe Rogan's management. Thanks for listening. And more importantly, I hope that these points convince you to do your own research, seek the information for yourselves, and come to your own conclusions, whether you agree with me or not. At the end of the day, as long as you do the thinking for yourselves, peace.